Okay, now folks, I'm traveling from Khamba to Paida. Paida is the pillar Huen Tsang saw, marking the spot where the Buddha was born. And Paida is the birthplace. Now, it is written Paida, which means birth, but it is pronounced Paira, which means feet. See, the language also has been, adjusted in such a way that one word has two meanings. One word is Paida, which means feet, but it is pronounced Paira. Paida, which means birth, but it is pronounced Paira, which means feet, folks. So now I'm going towards the Sakya pond, in 70 feet in front of that Sakya, to the north of that Sakya pond, the Buddha was born. The Bodhisattva was born. So folks, look at the countryside. This is the area directly around the Sakya pond and the pillar that marks the spot where the Buddha was born. So folks, it's important to read Huen Tsang. Now I am posting Huen Tsang's quote. Please read it, folks. This is important.
Let's see. To the northeast of the arrow well, about 80 or 90 li, we come to the Lumbini or Lavani garden. Folks, to the northeast of the arrow well, 80 or 90 li, we come to the Lumbini or Lavani garden. Let's see how much is 80 or 90 li. 80 or 90, 80 li is equals to around 22 kilometers and 90 li will be around 25. So 22 to 25 kilometers. We come to the garden of Lumbini, which he says Lavani. And let's see where 80 or 90 li or 22 kilometers takes us from Taraini. Now I will take my faithful divider. See, I have fixed it at 10 kilometers. Exactly at 10 kilometers. Now let's do some measuring. 20 kilometers, 22 kilometers northeast, he says. So here, 10 kilometers, 21 kilometers is Rudhauli is the garden of Lavani, which Samuel Beale translated as Lumbini. Rudhauli is the garden of Lavani, which Samuel Beale translated as, deciphered as Lumbini. Folks, you can see the Lavani sounds similar to Rudhauli up here. So folks, this is your the garden, and you will find everything up here. Now let's see what Huen Tsang has to say about this garden. Arrow well, about 80-90 li, we come to the Lumbini or Lavani garden. Here is the bathing tank of the Sakyas, the water of which is bright and clear as a mirror, and the surface covered with a mixture of flowers. Now this is a bathing tank of the Sakyas up here in the garden of Lavani or Lumbini. Now let's look where the bathing tank is. It can be anywhere around Rudhauli. Here is Rudhauli. Let's enlarge the satellite picture. My God, what is this? This is Paida. See, you have Rudhauli there. This is the garden of Lavani of Rudhauli. Now, half of that garden, according to Buddhist scriptures, was in Kolia territory, and half of that garden was in Sakya territory. The dividing, the border was the river. So look at this, Paida. Paida simply means birth. Now you must remember, the Buddha wasn't born in a city or a town. He was born, his mother was going back to her father's home, and he was born in she was bathing in the Sakya pond, and he was born 70 feet. He wasn't born in any town or city. So folks, they simply call this place Paida, means birth. Now, the unique thing about this word is it is written Paida, but it is pronounced Paira. Paira means feet. You see, the Buddha when he was born, he landed on the ground on his own feet. So that is what it is written as Paida, means birth, and Paira means feet. So, it is pronounced as Paira but written as Paida. So folks, let's zoom down on this little village here. Now it is that stupa has become a village. Let's see where. Here it is. Here it is. See, you have these two ponds. In the beginning, I thought that these two ponds, this pond was the main one. And by mistake, I videographed myself in front of it. But then I realized Huen Tsang's accuracy. He says that 70 feet in front, north of the pond, the Buddha was born. And up here there is 70 feet north, there is nothing. The stupa is here and the villagers settled on the stupa. So if the Buddha was born here, there should be a pond 70 feet to the south of this spot. So let's enlarge the picture. Folks, there is a pond hidden there. That is the ancient Sakya pond. This pond and the other pond, they are two new ponds, I think, for pilgrims to bathe in. But the original pond, the Sakya pond, is this one, folks, in Paira village. Now, this is the pond. So, just measure 70 feet north of that pond. 70 feet north of the pond is this area of the trees. This is where your Buddha was born, in Paida village of Paira. This is where your Buddha was born, in Paira, Paida village, within the thing of jurisdiction of Rudhauli. And there is the pond. It is an oblong pond. And folks, the villagers throw rubbish in that pond, so the pond is being filled up. This has to be stopped. This is a very important pond for the Buddhist world. So folks, the Buddha was born here amongst these trees, 70 feet north of the pond. And this is the Sakya pond. Today, there is a mixture of Muslims and Hindus living on this stupa. So folks, enjoy your first viewing of the Sakya pond and the Buddha's birthplace. You won't find all these things in the accuracy in what you call it, Lumbini, folks. Okay, now let's see what Huen Tsang has to say. The stupas which are involved in this story proves that this pond is the Sakya pond and this is the place where the Buddha was born.
In the Sakya pond, you see, I am just behind the Sakya pond. This is in Paida. This village is just north of this pond. Amongst those trees, the stupa, the village has settled on the stupa. So, folks, Huen Tsang says, I will quote Huen Tsang in page 24. He writes, "Here is the bathing tank of the Sakyas. The water is as bright and pure as mirror." And then he goes on to say, to the north of this, 23 or 24 paces, that is between 70 to 75 feet, there is an Ashokan flower tree which is now decayed. This is the place where the Bodhisattva was born on the 8th day of the second half of the month of Vaisakh. Folks, basically, this is the Sakya pond. And to the north of this pond, around 60 to 70 feet, there is a stupa on which the village has settled, and that is where there was an old Ashoka tree. His mother held the tree standing and she gave birth to the Buddha. So folks, now here I am on the stupa. I am on the stupa of the, what you call, and you can see the pond behind me. You can see the pond behind me. And Huen Tsang says 70 feet to the north of the pond. So folks, it's amongst those trees there are some, there is a mosque. Folks, I think that is the spot where the Buddha was born. So this is Paida. It is written Paida means birth and is pronounced Paira, which means what you call it, feet. You see, the Buddha was born on his feet. And folks, east of this is half a kilometer east is Chowbe Pool, where he walked 7 paces in 4 directions. Okay, so now folks, I am in Paira. You see the accuracy of Huen Tsang. You will not find this in Lumbini. You will not find this in Lumbini. Lumbini, they just went and they found some, what do you call it, pillar over there. A pillar over there with engravings, and the person who found the pillar was a master of making false pillars, false ancient pillars, and engravings on pillars. So folks, there is your pond, the Sakya pond, and what do you call it, 70 feet will be those trees behind me. There is a mosque over there. I didn't go enter the mosque. Folks, this is hallowed ground. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami for the Buddhist world and for myself, folks. So I hope you appreciated this video. What do you call it? And if you did appreciate this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Buddha X Huen, and don't forget to hit the bell icon button so that you will see all new videos of lost Buddhist sites. So folks, this is a very important Buddhist site. This is the place where the Buddha was born. Remember, my YouTube channel is Buddha X Huen, folks. Thank you.